dirty bastards, Pat. We're going to go crazy today.
I thought we were already crazy, especially you.
Well, at least we have a hierarchy. At least we understand the hierarchy of crazy here. I don't know of you and Uncle Creepy.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I'd like to say you're crazier.
Aww.
I would like to say that, but Uncle Creepy can be a little whack-a-muffin sometimes.
I've seen him going and spiraling, and like not even the good kind of spiral where, so he
well, let's not dump the guy's laundry in front of the. I've seen his bad moments. Let me tell you.
No, he's got his good crazies where he gets these crazy ideas, and you're like, "What the fuck are you doing?" And then he's got the bad crazies where it's like, "Okay, I'm here as your friend." So, and he's seen me some of my bad crazies too. So yes, he's awesome
we're all nuts. And for those of you that are just tuning in for the first time,
you're nuts too. Welcome.
This is the benefit of Perverted Podcast. We're nuts. We fuck up, so you don't have to.
1, 2, 3, 4. Do you feel your sex life is quite lame? Scared that your desires might be strange? Come and join the kinky world of play. Perverted Podcast.
Hello and welcome to Perverted Podcast, the show where we explore the adventures of the kinky lifestyle, sex, and the human mind.
Recording on Zencastr, where as summer turns to fall, it makes me wonder, is it a faux pas to wear white after Labor Day while bottoming during a scene? Nah, makes the bruises pop out better. I'm Path Girl. It does.
I'm Count Boogie. That was the most elaborate intro line you've ever written, and I could follow it. I could be like, huh. Like, you win. You are now the second craziest. You have
Yay! What do I win? Chocolate-covered nuts.
Chocolate. That's right. I just dipped them for you.
Oh, no. I didn't want old man nuts. I wanted, like, maybe peanuts or cashews.
Well, at least they're plentiful. You'll never starve. If I dipped my balls in chocolate, you would literally, it would be enough chocolate to give you a hypo, what is it, a hypo or hyperglycemic? It's hypoglycemic. Hyperglycemic moment. Hyper is more, hypo is less. Let me kill my own joke. Whatever. There's a lot of fucking nut, and it would be a lot of chocolate, and you'd get a sugar rush, and then you'd get a headache.
How many days could I last if I was like on a desert island and your balls were dipped in chocolate and somehow the chocolate miraculously didn't like melt off of you? Like, how many days would it take for me to?
And every day you would have to come up and like, you would have to portion it out and get like a piece of broken bamboo and like carve like little days in the chocolate around my nuts.
No, I'm
and
just
go, okay,
going,
Tuesday's chocolate, Wednesday's chocolate.
No, I'm thinking more along the lines of like, how long could I hold out before I finally go, it's eat Boogie's nuts or die? Oh, God, no! I don't know. Maybe I'd rather die.
I'm letting you know right now, that's a hot play scene. That is a humiliation. That is like top-notch humiliation play scene, and I'm down with it. Just waiting and going, oh my gosh, look at how you're
Path Girl, they
starving.
got some chocolate right here. It's going to be
chocolate
sweet.
dipped balls. Oh. I'm sure we have lost everybody at this point. This is a little voice in my head said, most people probably aren't entertained by this discussion at all. And I apologize. But once again, it's that day.
Yes.
It's that type of day. So let's get into some things that are pretty. Yeah. Have you been able to attend any parties or do anything?
Not recently, but I actually have one tonight that I think Creepy's going to too. There's a back to school party at the Crofts. So we're going to be going, the tribe and a couple of people are going to be going up there. I haven't decided if I'm going to get dressed. I have 2 different schoolgirl outfits that I could wear. I may just wear some generic kinky stuff, but I already said to Donis last week, I'm like, we've been under a lot of stress lately. I'm like, you need to beat me. He goes, yeah, I need to beat you.
Yes.
So we'll probably wind up playing tonight. He's on his way home from work now, so I'll kind of see what headspace he's in. But he's basically, there's times we go to a party, he's like, you want to go get beaten? I'm like, Okay, sure.
You got to wear a schoolgirl outfit. I mean, you can't.
Yeah,
Come on. You got to get them on. And then they'll get all turned on and,
And the funny thing is, last year when they did their back to school party, I wore an outfit I hadn't worn in a long time. And you have to get permission while you're there to take pictures. So one of the dungeon monitors kind of takes you outside to like a nondescript area. So I took a picture of me and my friend Girl Scout, because she has a really cool Girl Scout uniform she's worn to like the back to school party. And I looked at that picture and I was like, oh my God, I've gotten so skinny. Like at that time I had lost like 45 pounds. I fit in the outfit. I'm like, it actually looks good.
Look at that. The benefits of taking care.
Yes. So I may wear I have two. I may just wear the other one tonight and kind of see. I'll pull it out and put it on and see what it looks like. I may turn around and go, oh my God, that's so cute. Yes, I need to be beaten in it.
Beaten and then good. Well, I hope you have a fantastic time tonight. And there's some kink going on. I'm sure Uncle Creepy, I talked to Uncle Creepy 2 days ago, so he had some fun at his last thing. And everybody is rocking and rolling, but let's just get into some darkness if we can. And go into our topic so we can kind of rant and trash somebody, because that's the type of day it is.
Should you pet it? Should you wet it? What's the proper way to get it? We don't want you to regret it, so we answer stuff from Reddit.
Okay, Path Girl, you got your claws out?
Oh, I'm glad I got a manicure 2 days ago because they're nice and sharp.
Nice and sharp. This is thank goodness for all of the years of experience, not just our experiences, but all from not just from doing the show, but being in the community and seeing the things. It is because I remember being dumb and I remember not seeing, and I remember a post like this would have swayed me in a different direction because I didn't see all the hints and I didn't have all the stories and the experience and the things like that. And so it really is a testament to being involved in an ethical, hopefully ethical community with a lot of opinions and a lot of people's experiences, and to where you can see through shit like this and call bullshit a lot quicker. and it's important. So let's go. Here is this young man who who has a big problem. Big problem.
We're going to give him the benefit of the doubt because he's young and relatively new.
Big problem. No, I'm not giving him any benefit of the doubts, and nobody in the comments section did either.
Yeah.
So let's just take this. Sorry for all the stuff. Hello. I'm writing this because a recent situation is haunting me. He's haunted. He's completely haunted, Path Girl. You should know. This is your season. It's haunting. He's fucking haunted. More than anything, I can't even look at myself in the mirror because what I did was absolutely shameful, immoral, and abusive.
Oh, I can't believe it.
I'm a 20-year-old male dating a 19-year-old female. Not that that's important, but that's what he wrote. We've been together for about 4.5 years. So they were both in high school when they met. This is it's kind of, something.
Yep.
She and I had a BDSM dynamic for a while, and lately I noticed I was starting to lose control. For instance, the safe word was ignored several times because things were getting kinky. Okay. She actually wanted that. Oh, of course. Saying it added excitement, but I think using the safe word to heighten arousal was a terrible mistake in our relationship.
You think?
She had a kink. She had a kink for having sex while she was asleep. At first, I was reluctant, but eventually became a habit in our relationship. Since she stopped taking the pill, my girlfriend and I had been using condoms, but the problem was that one of my main kinks was the cream pie, which is when you come in someone and it runs out. Mm-hmm. She refused to let me do it without a condom because, remember, she stopped taking the pill. She's on no birth control now. Mm-hmm. So she refused to let me do it without a condom, but I did it anyway 6 months ago. She didn't appreciate it much.
That's putting it mildly.
I did it again without a condom this week, and that was the last straw for her. I completely understand why. Here it gets thick. At the time, it didn't seem like such a big deal to me, but it was deeply serious, and I can't even imagine how she must be feeling. I feel absolutely wretched and vile about what I did. I don't know how to fix things, or more importantly, how to help her better after my abusive and abominable actions. I'm sure he had to look that word up to make it for more drama. She wants to end the relationship, but she's the love of my life.
Aww.
And the knowledge that I hurt her is driving me crazy. I know I can't fix everything, but I just want her to be okay and to save our relationship. I also took the initiative to see a therapist and visit my town's mental health center to speak with professionals. My God, this is such a genuine and authentic apology. To
I don't understand why she won't take him back, Boogie. She's
to
being
who?
an absolute bitch.
Why won't she? I'll read my. See, now this is where you would not have experience, and you would be like, "Wow, this guy sounds really sorry."
Mm-hmm.
But is he, or is he just nobody wants to pay the check? And you had multiple times where you were a selfish piece of shit, and now that you're going to lose the relationship, now what can I do to get this relationship back? And before I let you go, in all of the years of doing this and being around and hearing the stories and hearing this is classic abuser behavior, where you get busted doing completely selfish piece of shit, then you get caught, and now you act as though you are mortified in sorrow to get the person back. And nobody in the comments fell for this. So go ahead and tell me what your thoughts on this are.
I actually, I read this, and I normally, voice text my thoughts into my phone so I can kind of email them to myself and organize them.
Sure.
And I just basically, the ranting and raving I was doing into my phone, I'm like, okay, we are going to organize this in a clear, concise way, and we're going to start off with the one single nicety. Okay? I am very glad that you are seeking therapy. She definitely needs to go to therapy as well. And it is good that you feel shame about this, because hopefully that itty-bitty bit of part of shame that you feel right now is going to help you change your behavior for the future. And hopefully when you decide to get into a vanilla, please, for the love of everything good and holy, do not get into another kink relationship. Into another vanilla relationship, you will learn the proper way to treat your partner, this woman. Okay. If you actually love and respect this woman to any degree, you will leave her alone for your own sake. Okay?
Yeah.
You are extremely, extremely lucky that not only has she not pressed charges against you, that your sorry ass is not in jail for either rape, abuse, what have you. Taking off the condom, okay? As the medical professional here, what you have done is called stealthing. For the people at home that don't know, stealthing is when you remove a condom non-consensually during sex. The guy says, I'm going to put on a condom, does a couple of thrusts in, pulls it off, the woman doesn't realize it, and then later on it's like, hey, it's a little wetter down there, or oops, I'm pregnant, I have an STD, whatever the thing is with that. Thankfully, where you are, Boogie, in California is actually the first state to actually pass a stealthing law, that it is against the law and you can have pressed charges against you. You should be in jail for sexual assault. Okay? Don't even get me started about the non-kink stuff and the kink stuff. All right, the non-kink stuff. There's a 4.5-year age difference between you two. So all this was going on when you were in high school. And guess what? There's a 1-year age difference between the 1 year.
There's
Well,
a 1 year.
yeah, sorry, 4.5. They did this for 4.5 years. Sorry, there's
Yeah,
a 1-year age difference between them. Okay, so when this guy was 18, she was 17, and what is that called, boys and girls at home? Statutory rape. Okay, now here in the South, we do have what's called Romeo and Juliet laws, where basically, like, you know, there are people that genuinely fall in love in high school, and they get married, they have kids, and they're the love of their lives, or they for how many years, okay? And sometimes only very, very, very small percentage of those cases where people are having sex under the age of 18, and the age difference is not that far apart, sometimes the courts will look the other way, especially sometimes it's like, oh, well, you got pregnant, now we're getting married, and we want to be responsible. Great. Okay. You ignored a safe word. That is kink 101. Okay? A safe word is there for a damn reason. And I get it. There are people that love to consent to edge play. Okay? I've done CNC scenes where no, stop, please don't are not my safe word. However, every top that I have played with understands red isn't my safe word. If I say red, toys are dropped, lights come on, music stops. All full stop for the top and bottom. Whether it's my mental health, my physical health, or even the top can call red and say, hey, I need to stop. This isn't going well. They may even have a weird word like asparagus or pineapple, okay? The safe word is you call red, and you call it, and that is it. You want to ignore it, you're just flat out just being stupid, all right?
Yeah, it's a consent violation at that point. Yeah,
it is a consent violation. I mean, this guy's had multiple consent violations, especially the cream pie, okay? I get she was on the pill, he's on condoms. That is absolutely wonderful, responsible, underage sex. If you go, look, we've screamed it since the 80s. If you're going to have sex, wear a condom. She's on the pill. They were being somewhat responsible even though they were underage. Okay, fine. That's the best situation you think for. She goes off the pill. Why, I don't know. Maybe she was having reactions to it, whatever. He starts taking off the condom. That is against the law. That is non-consensual. What would have happened if she got pregnant? What would have happened if she got an STI? Okay? Then we're dealing with not only the consent violations, but now we're dealing with an unintended pregnancy in somebody who may not be ready to take care of somebody. I get that this guy thinks that she is the love of his life. And I understand it is driving him absolutely insane when he finally, if this is even true, came to the realization of, I hurt this girl and I love her, and that is probably killing him. But if he's only going to therapy because, oh, look, I'm going to change. I'm going to get her back because I'm going to prove to her, 80s montage of like, I worked on myself and now I'm a good guy. No, she can't trust you. She doesn't want this. She wants to end the relationship. You can't trust yourself with this. You need to understand everything you did was wrong. I don't care what she contributed to it. I don't care if she said it was hot. Go ahead. No. He can't handle a kink. Just respect her wishes and stay the hell away from her. And that is like, the claws are out and I'm like digging into the walls going, I just want to rip this guy apart.
Yep. I'm with you and seeing this, because what it appears, and this is why, and I know some people may be like, God, maybe he really is sorry, and maybe he is. Maybe he's finally discovered that. But there's a lot of hints in this post, in what he wrote. What it appears to be, and what we have seen multiple times, is when somebody who is selfish and an abuser and kind of doesn't care about the thoughts and feelings of their partner, they just want them as a possession. She may be the love of his life, but the love is all about him. The love isn't about her and building her up and making her and whatever. And so we'll give a little credit because young and stupid. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm going to give you some points off. But reaching out to a group and being like, I can't even look myself in the mirror kind of thing. Oh, I'm so aching. I can't believe because you made none of those feelings. You connected none of those feelings all of the time she told you that was unacceptable.
Mm-hmm.
until she said, finally, fuck you. So now what you're going to do is you're going to reach out to this group, and you're going, because there's a trick here. You reach out to this group in order to make them give you support and sorry. So you can then, and I've seen this, we've all seen this, then you go to the girlfriend and you go, look, the people in the group think I should get a second chance. To use that to manipulate her to go back to you. We've seen it a bunch of times. That's why nobody fell for it. Dude, if you're really sorry, if you really feel bad that you are now reflecting on yourself and go, I did a bad thing, I hurt somebody, which is a normal thing. We've done it in ignorance. I've hurt people. You've hurt people. You know, that moment, if it's a real moment, then you will understand that I hurt this person and they do not owe me forgiveness.
Mm-hmm.
They do not owe me a second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth chance. It does not matter. I have to change this behavior. Going, I took the initiative. That's just normal abuser ass kissing 101. And we've heard thousands of stories. You hurt somebody and then you profusely apologize and love bomb, and then they take you back and everything's honeymoon for a couple weeks or maybe even a couple months, but then eventually you're going to slip right back into your selfish, toxic, abusive behavior. And a lot of times that escalates and ends up getting worse and more controlling and more manipulative. So that's for the people that are kind of going like, oh, he seems really sorry. We have all these experiences that show this person, because he keeps going back to, how do I save our relationship? Mm-hmm. She's the love of my life. He has no idea of consequence.
Nope.
He's not willing to take the consequence. He wants to manipulate around the consequence. The real consequence that his actions pushed this person out of the relationship to where they do not trust him and they do not want to be in a relationship with him. And he cannot accept those consequences. And that's what shows that his sorrow is about him.
Yeah.
His sorrow isn't about, oh, I actually hurt someone. I need to change. I need to reflect on this. Okay, great. I understand. Best of luck to you. I'm going to go to therapy and figure out why I did these things and whatever, which happens. People have made tremendous mistakes and done really bad things, and then on their own figured it out, changed those behaviors. They don't do those things anymore. But this kid doesn't show any signs that this is anything other than just trying to get her back and get back to what he wants. So that's where my kind of thing is. If it's authentic, then why are you what's the purpose of reaching out to the group?
Right.
What is absolutely even the purpose? Because you want validation. You want validation that you're doing the right thing, and everyone should tell you should get her back. What did you reach out to this group for if it wasn't manipulation? Because if you realize that you fucked up and you feel horrible about it, I don't need 50 people to verify that I fucked up and feel bad about it. I know I feel bad about it. So that's what, you understand what I'm saying? So
yeah, no, and here's the thing. We're coming at this as two jaded people who have seen people get abused, and then they're like, right. Well, she wanted it, or he wanted it. And it's just like, the typical manipulation of somebody is purposely being bad. Right. And then to get out of it, they're saying, oh, well, I didn't do anything wrong. I mean, I've seen it, you've seen it. And it may genuinely be. This may be the first girl that he ever dated, the first girl he ever had sex with. There's a very intense bond that's formed, okay? But at the same time, and when that bond ends, it feels soul crushing. I mean, I had to deal with my son breaking up with his girlfriend and like just feeling that hurt for him, where it's just like, but this is I love her. I'm going to be with her forever. I'm like, no, honey. I was like,
no.
Yeah, no. But at the same time, he was physically abusing her. I don't know where these people are, but either on TV, in school, amongst their friends, somewhere along the way, not one, but both of them would have been exposed to, hey, when somebody's doing this to you, it's wrong. When somebody's removing a condom, it's wrong. When somebody's ignoring a safe word, it's wrong. Even just take the kink out of it, because we've always said, look, safe, sane, consensual, 99.9% of the places will not let you do kink under the age of 18, no ifs, ands, or buts, because you're not a consenting adult. You don't have the brain power.
Right.
But let's just, for the best case scenario, they did research. I'm like they did. Yeah.
You don't have the brain power.
You don't.
Your brain doesn't switch on at 18. Okay.
No, but
you have the brain power to know right and wrong. You're not legally allowed to do that because you don't have maybe the maturity to do it. But it doesn't mean
here's the thing also,
that all young people are retarded until they fucking switch on at 18. Sorry,
I do have a friend.
Funny to me.
No, you're fine. But I do have a friend in the community that her daughter was very interested in kink, learned all about it. Her daughter, the mom is actually a very upstanding citizen in our kink community. She runs events and what have you. And when her daughter turned 18, they brought her to her first party legally and basically said, I'm going to be there to watch over you. I mean, that's their dynamic. I love it for them. I love that, mom educated her and then said, okay, now you're legal. Now we could try this out. That is not for everybody. Okay. But somewhere along the way, TV, movies, school, something, you understand. Yeah,
you're going to learn it bad. You're going to learn things are bad.
Bad things you did.
And he said, at the time, it didn't seem like such a big deal to me. Yeah, and then all of a sudden the switch. But and then the other side is because he's just doing what he wanted to do. Yeah. He was just being a selfish person. And once again, I've done things that are selfish. I've made lots of mistakes and done things. And we're just talking to not just the people on my side of the slash that can do these dumb things, these selfish things, these toxic things, and not think it's a big deal until we figure it out. But it's also to let the people that are the recipients of these kind of toxic behaviors, that's what it is. Yeah. This is a toxic behavior. If it's a big deal to you, it needs to be a big deal to your partner.
Yes.
100% of the time. There is no exception because your big deal is valid. Your limit, your boundaries, your feelings. And it doesn't matter what they are. It's your job to validate your own feelings and limits, and it's their job to understand that is important. Because if they don't, they're not valuing you.
Yes.
Period.
Yes.
You are just undervalued. And for some people with low self-esteem, that makes it easier to be manipulated. It makes it easier to be controlled. It makes it easier to be abused. So in any relationship, no matter what even if you have something that most people, because it's okay if you have a limit, and I've left relationships and I've not dated people or not played with people because they had certain limits that I'm like, I just don't want to play with that. That I want to play with people that don't have this limit or that limit. So it's not a bad thing. Your limits aren't bad. You can have any limit that you want. But there is, some people aren't going to connect to that. If you tell me my hard limit is spanking, I'm a spanker. I'm just going to go, okay, that's absolutely fine. We don't match. Yeah. But it doesn't mean that your limit of not being spanked is something that I need to start trying to manipulate you out of. Mm-hmm. And that's a whole nother topic. And we've talked about that numerous times on the show, where people are like, oh, okay, I respect your limit. And in the back of their mind, they're like, give me a couple months and I'll get her to do anal. She'll do anal for me, and you start manipulating that. And that is dirty pool. That is bad form.
That was my entire 8 or 9 years with my poly ex, where it's just he manipulated the heck out of me. And just I did everything for love because I love this guy. It wasn't until it took years for me to finally sit there and I get smacked in the face with the reality of he's an abuser, he's a narcissist, he's cheating on me, I'm letting him cheat on me. But even with this girl, let's just say she was completely naive and she was completely in love with this guy, and she slowly started to wake up to, hey, I've heard this isn't good. She point blank told you, I don't like when you take off the condom.
Yeah, don't do this.
Don't do that. It's illegal.
Yeah.
You will go just. But she point blank told you, so you went and did it again. If I did that to any of the guys I dated and said, "Hey, don't do that," and then they did it again, I'm gone.
It's over. That's over.
Yeah.
And there's nothing wrong with that. And that's part of advocating for yourself. And even though it's hard, and she may have feelings for the guy, and it may be a tough decision for her, but it is so important for your entire life to be able to stand up for yourself and to say, my wants, needs, and desires are valid. Even if somebody doesn't agree with it. I deal with this every day of my life, that in not just in kink, but in real life, being able to advocate for yourself, being able to say, my limits and boundaries are valid, regardless if anybody around thinks that. It's important to me. It builds my character as a person. It builds my self-worth. It makes me less depressed. It makes me feel that that I belong on this planet.
Yeah.
And that's why we do talk on the show all the time like this. Because if you can't do that, you're not going to be happy. Ultimately, we can talk confidence and jobs and career and moving forward and, all this stuff in life that confidence and self-advocacy brings you. But the reality is, if you can't value yourself, you're never going to be happy. You're never going to be okay. You're always going to be seeking endless validation from other people that don't give a shit about you. And you're going to constantly be miserable going from person to person to person to validate you because you don't know how to validate yourself. And that's a sad existence. And I've lived it. I lived it for decades. Mm-hmm. And now I don't do that. And I have more days, even in struggle, that I still go, I deserve to be here.
Yes.
And I just think, I don't know this. So when I see something like this, I'm like, good for her. Yeah. Really good for her. That she stood up for herself and said, no, I'm not going to do this. And you don't seem to care. And I don't care what you do. No. It's powerful.
No is a complete sentence, full stop. I mean, like I said, the only thing that I'm glad about with this guy is that and it may be that reality finally clicked in his brain and he said, holy crap, what have I done? I'm hoping just going forward with this guy, hopefully this will be the turning point of, he may get into another relationship down the road and someone may want to try kink and he may just have to turn around and go, you know what? I can't handle it. And that's okay.
Well, I don't think, I don't know why you keep saying that you're now forbidden from being kinky. If he legitimately grows and he legitimately learns things and he legitimately learns how to have compassion and acceptance and be supportive of somebody else's boundaries, it's not a life punishment that you can never do kink. The kink wasn't the issue here. The issue was his selfishness and his inability to be compassionate towards the needs and wants of his partner. So he can, I mean, I wouldn't do it now before he gets help, before he starts really focusing on this and doing that. But I don't think it's a life sentence.
I'm going to respectfully disagree because I look at it as like.
So when he's 90 years old and he's already gone and changed and now he helps old ladies across the street and he does charities and whatever. Sorry, man.
I'm not saying he can't have sex.
You can't have a relationship. Nope, can't be kinky. Ever.
But no, there's a difference between having a relationship and having sex and having kink. I'm sorry. I'm gonna equate it to, and I know you're gonna disagree with me with like alcoholism. Like some people can be around alcohol and not drink. Some people can't be in the same room. Some people can, it's just.
Yeah, but until you find that out. once you find that out, like if he goes through therapy, and finds, wow, I'm a psycho and I can't handle these things, then yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
You shouldn't be in any relationships. Just, jack off or kill yourself. I don't know. But if he goes to therapy and finds out, yeah, I was just being selfish and I really didn't consider that. And now I'm going to grow.
Then
and
by
now
all means. Yeah.
Then
by all
okay.
means,
but Jesus,
it's just,
you're like, no, not for you.
Well, and like I said,
Life
I had the claws digging into the walls where it's just basically like, I'm going to try to just see a small amount of positive of he's going to therapy and hopefully he will learn his ways and hopefully the next woman he dates or gets into a relationship with, he will treat her 110% more nice because otherwise they need to throw his ass in jail, throw away the key, and introduce him to Bubba who's going to fuck him in the butt. So, yeah.
Well, that's always a possibility. Well, there, look, now we cured something. I don't know what we cured. Maybe we just ranted. But hopefully at the end, it really comes down to whatever side of the slash you're on, whether you're the top, the bottom, the man, the woman, none of that matters. What matters is that for yourself, you advocate for yourself and that your boundaries are valid. And if you're on the top, then you need to understand nobody owes you forgiveness after you fuck up. Nobody owes that to you. Just suck it up, pay the check, and move on.
Uncle Creepy lurks around your bedroom once you're in his clutch. He penetrates the places where your mama said that good girls shouldn't touch.
Uncle Creepy.
It's me. I'm here.
It's a good day to be Uncle Creepy, isn't it?
I think so. My schedule is packed. I banged Mina last night because she was being a sassy little bitch and ovulating. So I think it's ovulation week. I think I had a pretty good scene.
Yet? Are the girls matching yet?
So yes, pretty close. Like I know when it's happening. Half of them don't have uteruses anymore, so none of that stuff happens. But the horniness is still apparent because it's like, hey, I need this right now, and I'm just like, I just did that. Like, what do you need? Like, here's a vibrator. Like, nah, I need your dick. Like, okay, well. So
did they say it just like that? Yeah, I need a dick now, buddy. Come here.
See, give me that penis. Yeah.
Something on a punani.
A lot of people might not know this, but when vagina owners are extremely horny, they turn into a 90s, 20s gangster. It is exactly a scientific fact.
They turn into Bugsy Malone.
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah, that's right there. That ain't gonna fuck itself there, buddy. Yeah.
You better make me come.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm dealing with that.
I would be horrified and elated at the same time.
I would not stop. It would not. My boner would be ever present. Like I couldn't.
It would not.
Yeah. If you could make me laugh and terrify me at the same time, my fear boner
would
be. Yeah,
that's a skill. Yeah. It's a great skill. That's hilarious.
Yeah, we had a scene last weekend where we all banged a super horny. Recently soon to be divorced young lady, and she was depraved. So
wait, soon to be divorced, or she was divorced?
Well, so North Carolina law requires you to be separated from your partner for 1 year before you can divorce. So yay. So she's basically saying she's divorced, but she isn't yet. So
okay. So it's technical. So you're not. It's not like a cheating thing or something like that.
No. She's done and everything.
They've moved out and
above board. Yeah,
I'm just saying. I just got to put that out there because it's a thing.
Don't worry, we're not. I don't.
Mm-hmm.
I have the boundaries of no. The partner has to at least know. Like right. I don't like the cheating shit.
Okay.
So it's been a busy week, bud. Yeah.
Well, poor you. Poor Uncle Creepy. Dealing with them horny women folk.
It's crazy.
Gosh, what a horrible problem to have. What a horrible problem to have. If there is a problem to have, that's the problem that you want.
Yeah.
That is so much more fun. Sex hangovers, oh my God, those are the best.
Yeah. Well, I also have to deal with the drop from it, and and my partners really feel it. So Monday and Tuesday are always like hey, what's going on in your head? Given the reassurances, because we're still balancing that togetherness because Plushie and Dawn are dating me, and Mina is dating Plushie, and it's all like it's complicated, but we are all better now with the communication, and it's like, I don't know what my other partner is thinking. Why don't you directly ask them? And my other partner is being open and available for those conversations really helps. So it's a trial and error sort of thing, but we're really getting our stride here. So it's really been able to open up to where, like, hey, we're going to go do this kinky thing together, and being able to know what each person's role is and helping them get to that special place in the relationship, and making sure everybody gets their attention, and keeping up.
I'm happy to hear it. A perfect segue into a topic that we're going to tackle, that communication is not working out very well.
Yeah.
And the example going in the opposite way. And this is off the... It's funny. It's funny to me because it's a daddy dom kind of thing. But it's just funny because it's like daddy dom is getting tired of being a daddy dom, which should be a T-shirt for all daddy doms. That should just, and you should be able to, like, just when it's like brat, all of a sudden you should just be able to put up your hand and go, and just casual, just walk to the dresser, open a drawer, take off the shirt you're wearing. I'll put up your hand again if they start to brat at you again.
They will.
And then you just put the shirt on, and then you just turn to them, and it says, "Daddy Dom is tired of being a daddy dom."
That should be like a sign you could tap and just keep it near you, just like
a red
tap,
light.
Tap. Yep.
Which is super real, and we're off topic to what these guys are going through, but you do have the ability in the communication to if you have a daddy dom dynamic, which, for those of you that are new, welcome to Perverted Podcast.
Hello.
A daddy dom is a type of dominant that is also it's very nurturing and caring and very playful, and it can go an entire spectrum of age regression to just being bratty and silly and innocent, and then it can get, of course, very dirty and stuff like that. But it can be chaotic because you're with smart adults that are being silly, and they're manipulating you in ways that they can, because they're smart like adults, but
Devious.
they're acting silly and innocent. And it's fun and it's wonderful. And if you're into that type of dynamic, it can be very, very fun. But at times, like any human, it can be a little exhausting. And sometimes you just need to be like, I'm taking off the daddy button right now. Please stop painting my toenails. I just need to be good old me. And so if you set that up, and like my girls knew that I had my moments, and I would just put on the shirt, Daddy Dom is getting tired of being Daddy Dom. And then it would be like, okay. And then everyone, drops the role play, and then we go and just be adults and have conversations, or if there's something that I'm struggling with, and, then whatever.
Yeah.
So that being said, this Daddy Dom, or is he? This is my first time opening up about this, so I hope I've included enough detail. 38-year-old male, was previously married, got divorced, and had a few girlfriends after that. For the past 2 years, I've been in a serious relationship with my current girlfriend, who is part of the BDSM community. Early on, she told me I'm a daddy dom. I didn't quite understand what that meant at first, but over time, I've realized that's kind of who I've always been. Before me, she was in a 5-year relationship with a dom and mentioned that she really enjoys being told what to do. We've talked about this and asked her specifically what she would like me to do or direct, but she's never given me a clear answer. Starting to fray. And so he talks about his job, and he's constantly centered around keeping everyone else happy. When I come home, I find myself doing the exact same thing with my girlfriend. Honestly, I'm getting exhausted living like this. I want to step into my role as a dom and take control, because I'm tired of putting everyone else's needs above my own. before reaching out here, I tried to talk to her about my feelings. She just told me, everything's fine. Don't worry about it. But whenever I try to tell her what I want, even if she listens in the moment, nothing actually changes and everything stays the same.
That hurts.
So, yeah, it's kind of ouchy. I'm going to start with one line and then I'll let you go.
Go for it.
Just because somebody calls you a daddy dom it's not like a coronation. It doesn't mean that's what you are.
You have been issued the title of Daddy Dom. I am the Daddy Dom coronator. Here is your crown.
This is what you are. I had a comedy bit, the BDSM naming center or something like that, and I did it years ago. The orientation naming center, where there's some idiot just sat there and said, "You are a sissy leather slave," and the people are like, God. "What? And what?" So yeah, just
like
because
a gay sorting hat or something.
Oh yeah. I was the sorting hat, and I was just this obnoxious, just horrible character, and I was real fat at the time, and it was great. Larry was still alive in that, and it was the BDS. I think it's either on Perverted Podcast YouTube or the Count Boogie YouTube. The BDSM, it's horrible. The filming was horrible, but it was funny, and it gives that point that just because somebody tells you that I think you're like this, it may be something to look into. There may be aspects of that are true, but it doesn't mean that that's what you actually are. You get to decide that. This is your decision, your orientation, what you like to do. That's your decision. So right off the bat, that kind of is like, oh, well, this is something to think about. So now, Uncle Creepy, take the floor.
I'm on the floor. This is, I do enjoy what you said, because I similarly had a, kind of forced moniker of a dominant, a master sort of thing when I first started my journey, because I thought that's just kind of what I would do. I was kind of someone who would take control, but I wanted everything to be my way and not your way. And it kind of didn't work out so well. I'm not so much as a master in the master slave sort of thing.
Right.
I don't like the everything my way or nothing at all. I want that input. I want to be able to, flex. So Daddy Dom came up. It's kind of close to what I would consider myself, but it took me a while to kind of search through the different feelings I had and things I like to do. It didn't come to me right away, and everything I settled on would change, after I started doing more of those specific things. So
right.
I kind of settled on reactionist, bully, that kind of thing, where
sure.
I'm not so much somebody who's in charge of everything, but I will make sure that I am at least in control of most aspects. And I think this guy was trying really hard to kind of please everyone, and it wears you down so fast.
Yeah.
It will ultimately destroy you, being someone who is a constant people pleaser and doesn't have the the demeanor to be that person. I know some people who are really good at people pleasing. They love it. They strive at it. And they are very good with not being able to please everyone, but they still strive for it. So
right.
I think this gentleman has some issues.
Well, on the other, I mean that you're describing what could be a service submissive, what could be a slave mentality where you love to please somebody, and that is your jam. And there's nothing wrong. That's absolutely the other side of the dynamic. That's somebody who wants to serve, but it doesn't. But if you're not that, like you just said, if you're not that, everybody likes, most people like being of service to a certain point, in whether they're dominant or submissive. They like helping people. They like doing good things, especially if it's somebody you care about and whatever. But if that's not your go-to in nature, I agree. You're going to get totally exhausted.
Yeah. And so it's difficult to see how this came about. He doesn't really talk about his journey in the BDSM community. It's it doesn't really say what he has been doing in the BDSM community, just what she's been doing.
Yeah, it says she's a part of it. So I'm kind of assuming that he's just in the relationship and she's in the community.
Boom, you're now Daddy Dom, take it away.
Yeah.
But then towards the end where, you know, he tries to do the role and she's just like, meh. This is where I'm starting to think that things are unraveling again, because, you know, if she wants this and you do it and she doesn't respond to it, that's a little bit of a more deeper problem than just, I didn't even know, like brattiness or some sort of like, you know, you need to take more control sort of thing. This just feels like a disregard for his, you know, negotiated authority. And I'm seeing some things where it feels like they need a come to Jesus moment, or it's a, hey, you know, this isn't working out. We either need to renegotiate our relationship or end it altogether. That's where I'm seeing.
I'm absolutely seeing this as well. Once again, just because someone calls you a daddy dom doesn't mean you're a daddy dom. But in the same way, just because somebody goes and is a part of the quote unquote BDSM community doesn't mean they're any fucking good at it.
Right.
You know, because and once again, this is a short post, so we're projecting, you know, we can only go by what
we kind of have to. Yeah.
You know, that's all we can have. But it really seems from what's written that this is manipulation going on. That this is somebody who is basically just telling this person, because they sense that he's service-oriented, they want a certain thing for themselves, and they want to be able to manipulate and control that. And when he comes with his feeling, the big clue for me is when he comes in with his feelings and say, hey, this is how I feel, she blows it off. She's just like, no, which is another example that just because somebody's in the BDSM community doesn't mean they have great ethics, they have learned great communication skills, they've done these things. That is not a be all. For those of you that are new, the BDSM community, there is no official one. There are many, many clubs and communities all together under this umbrella. And the hope is that you get with people that are very much about communication, consideration of your partner's feelings, following limits, discovering each other, how each other works. Just like, you know, you talked about creepy before, where you now know your partners and you know that on Monday and Tuesday, they're going to be kind of there's going to be a problem. And then you're going to have to shift the dynamic and be more into a communication role and a nurturer role. As far as those are the things that you hope that people are learning in whatever community they're in. But that's not always the case. And in this case, this sounds like somebody who either doesn't pay attention to the things she's learning when she's in the public community, or she's just not in a community that's teaching her that communication is paramount to every relationship that you're going to be in.
Yeah.
So in that sense, that puts up a lot of flags for me that she's just kind of manipulating you because she knows that you're service oriented and that your job is a service oriented job. So great. I want this person to just serve me. And then you become like an emotional ATM for this person. And she's not investing herself in your needs or even appears to give a fuck about them. She's she's just using BDSM terms to get what she wants. Does that make sense?
Yeah. So the manipulation on her part is to just get what she wants without having the work. She doesn't want to do the work. She just wants this robot to do what she wants when she wants. And then when it's like, hey, I have thoughts and feelings, it's like, well, great. I love that. We'll do that. And then just return straight back to being pretty shitty.
Yeah, because you learn the words, and that's what some people do, unfortunately, who do hang out in the public BDSM community, is they learn all the terms, And therefore, when they talk to somebody who doesn't know all that things, they go, "Oh no, this is how it's supposed to be." There's a lot of abuse and manipulation,
a lot
that is used like this, where it's like, "Oh no, you just don't know that. That's okay. It's okay if you're not happy. That's part of your sacrifice and martyrdom to your service to me." And then people
I'm a dominant,
are like that.
and I'm a dominant. Being cruel and uninvolved is part of being dominant.
Yeah, that's part of it. So if you really want to be, if you really want to do this correctly, then you have to do exactly as I say or as I instruct, because the one true way, and so that's very normal. And once again, I've had hundreds. I was going to say thousands, but I didn't want to get too ahead of myself. But it pretty much has been thousands. But I have had many, many experiences of amazing people in these communities. And we all have our imperfections and whatever. But I think most people that come into the general communities where they teach safer, sane, and consensual behavior, risk-aware consensual kink, communication, and those types of things, I think most people wind up kind of like you and I do, where we bump our way and make a lot of mistakes and then get to a point to where we're better communicators and we don't use our knowledge to manipulate people. I think most people in the community that I've met, and I haven't been to every single club and whatever, so I can't say it's a fact or a statistic, but I can say in general, from what I see online and the groups and FetLife and whatever, most people really do want to communicate. They may not know how. It may,
they just don't know how. Yeah.
They may be trial and error. But in a case like this, where somebody is blowing that off and just dismissing your feelings like they don't exist, they're not even worth discussing. That's like, how many flags can you throw up?
Well, also, if we want, we can give her the benefit of the doubt and say maybe even in her years of being in the community, she just hasn't learned how to communicate.
Sure.
And, it's very difficult to have certain conversations. And this could be an example of where she just doesn't know how to communicate that, hey, she wants, maybe she wants a more aggressive daddy style where it's like, oh, yeah, I'll listen to it. Like, no. You will listen or there will be consequences, that kind of thing. Maybe she's not able to express that to him and she's just doesn't know how, and he's just floundering, and, she's feeling just as bad as he is. And that fear of communication or that lack of knowledge can be a sign of this as well. I don't know. That's playing devil's advocate. So
no, that's absolutely a possibility, and it's very important for us to talk, because once again, it's a short post, so we don't know exactly what she's thinking or what she's going through, or if she even fucking exists, dude. This could just be a made up thing. We don't know.
Oh yeah,
there's a lot of possibilities of what her point of view is. But when we read as we read, and we don't know, maybe he's just a giant manipulative dick and he's leaving out a bunch of information because he wants fucking sympathy online from people. That's a possibility too.
Yeah.
That's why when we read this, we just address it at face value. We say, this is the thing. He's trying to communicate. She won't communicate. She's taking advantage of him. In that scenario, whatever is real and true going under, I think we can both say that there is a level that's not being met here that needs to be met. Otherwise, as you said before, this is a relationship ender, something like this. Yeah.
And I just also want to say personally, like, be careful who you put on a pedestal too. Someone like this could be, very knowledgeable and very well vetted and just hasn't been caught yet. Something like that can be another form of manipulation that I've been seeing lately, as far as like, I've always been right. I do all these things, and it's, and some other people may think it's just the way it is, like you said, this could be that community where, nobody's caught on to this being a type of manipulation, even from, a female standpoint. It's often seen that, men are constantly manipulating women to get laid, and it's always young, innocent girls who are or at least new to the scene that are immediately taken advantage of. And it's works both ways. I've seen
it works both ways. Yeah, there's toxic women, there's toxic men. Great discussion. I hope this guy has good communication with his partner, and I'm glad you're doing good in your thing.
Yeah, we solved daddy doms.
And as usual, folks, that is the train sliding into the wall. So this means we have come to the end of show 456. Thank you for joining us. If you have any questions, comments, or topics you'd like us to talk about, please reach out to us at pervertedpodcast@gmail.com, or find us on TikTok and Instagram under the name Perverted Podcast. And on FetLife, there is both a group and a page. Please help support the show by liking this episode and subscribing to the show. And don't forget to share the show with your kinky friends to help other kinksters like you find us. And if you'd like to support the show a little bit more, please go to our Patreon at patreon.com/pervertedpodcast and sign up for our $5 for if you give a fuck level. With that, you get to become a PP sugar zombie. I can't keep screwing up. And with that support, you get the show a few days early and our Patreon exclusive half a PP episode where the three of us talk about stuff we don't talk about on here. There's a whole backlog of episodes you missed, so sign up and start binging. And of course, love and smushy kisses to our patrons around the world. Your support means the world to us.
Thank you, Path Girl, and we will see you guys on the next big show.